Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's episode of Take a Stub Redux podcast. It's not a beer, it's a Coke, but because having a beer at 10:53 in the morning might be bad.
Some people it's just it's up to your lifestyle. Some people.
You got that Baja, baby.
Mm-hmm. I had to go to. I worked early this morning, and I always like to get myself some breakfast, and so on Sundays I go to Taco Bell, get that breakfast quesadilla and a nice large Baja Blast.
You don't get lunch? I can get lunch instead?
No, I'll probably just eat a sandwich here.
So since you work regular hours tomorrow, what time would you go to bed tonight?
So tonight, normally I'd work night side Monday.
Right.
I'm working day side tomorrow, so I'll probably go to bed at 10, 11-ish, something like that.
So you'll go to bed really early, you go to sleep super early on Saturday to wake up super early, and then just have a huge long turnaround. Yeah, I know the grind, man. I know the news grind.
Yeah.
I remember when I was my first year as a photog, I had to do not my first year, probably my first 6 months of photog.
Mm-hmm.
They had me on a schedule where I was working weekend mornings, and I had this night shift, weekend morning, and I was like, this is the worst. Because not like I'm doing it. I'm of course, obviously our jobs were different. You're a producer, I was a photog, but still, it's okay, cool. Go out you're out late at night at a homicide.
Mm-hmm.
Now go in the morning, turn around to go do a fucking banquet.
Yeah.
And it's this is not
do a charity lunch or something like that.
Yeah, or go to a fucking beanbag. Well, not beanbag. What's it called? The sack race. Go to a sack race and try to be super excited for a sack race. And I'm I don't give a shit about who wins this sack race. But guys, this is a movie podcast where every week Zach and I get together and talk about movies and shit for an hour or however long. But first, we always start off with what we've been watching this week. Zach, what you been checking out, man?
So this week has been a pretty good week for me. I got some bangers on here.
Okay.
I didn't watch them all until I basically watched them over the past couple of days. But the first thing I watched the 2014 should have been Best Oscar or Best Picture at the Oscars. Damien Chazelle's
Yeah, Chazelle.
Whiplash.
Right.
I had never seen this movie before, and I finally got around to watching it. Dude, this movie is insane.
It's rad. Yeah.
It's so
it shows you for a guy who I think before that just made a short film. And that's his first debut feature film. Yeah. It shows you that why he was able to do La La Land and then First Man. There's a reason why. You don't just have. But then some people, I don't really like La La Land that much, but it's a fine movie, and I'd never finished First Man because I walked out of it. But I walked out because it was.
Yeah, after watching it, I think this is by far my favorite movie of his. I love La La Land a lot. First Man was all right, but I think First Man suffered from bad advertisement. It was advertised as something that it really wasn't.
Right.
That's not Damien's fault, but I think that probably hurt a little bit more.
I think I mentioned before that I walked out not because it was bad, but because my girlfriend was sleeping at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to just keep her there. It was a super long movie, but between the three of them, from what I've gathered from First, I'm gonna take a step and just assume First Man, because I was liking what I was watching. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume the rest of the movie was as good, if not better, which means it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So for a guy who was 3 and 3,
yeah,
I don't love La La Land, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
But that's also because I don't love Emma Stone.
Yeah.
As an actress, I don't think she has a huge range.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Gosling is Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
But Whiplash is I think it's his magnum opus. I don't know, it's that perfect combination of it's not a musical, but it's a kind of a musical. Whereas La La Land's a flat out, this is a musical movie.
Yeah.
And you know me, I don't give a shit about musical movies. But that's Miles Teller's best movie. No one can tell me that's not his best movie.
This is the best he's ever been.
Yeah.
And probably the best he ever will be. And J.K. Simmons, what a powerhouse in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I have 2 posters in my house about it.
Yeah. He got the Oscar and he deserved it. He was fucking phenomenal.
Well, then Miles Teller goes and does Divergent. I mean, that's the way it goes. Or that's either before or after one of the Divergent movies comes out, whatever.
I think he did it afterwards, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Garbage. But and then has Miles Teller even done anything recently? I feel like he didn't do anything in
he on 20 I don't know he did anything.
2017. I remember that.
He did Hands of Stone?
Yeah.
No, that's not worth that. No, it's like Worth Bleeding? Worth Bleeding For or some shit?
Yeah, it was like something blood or something like that. It was that it was the boxing movie.
Yeah, because there's been 5 boxing movies in the past like 5 years that have been
but I mean other than that, I don't really know what else he's done really. I don't think I remember if he had done stuff. It hadn't been like big stuff. Like I don't.
He's in Top Gun.
Oh yeah, he is doing Top Gun. That's right. Because he's
Bleed for This. Bleed for This.
Son, right?
He was in Only the Brave. That the military movie, right?
Movie. I didn't really care about
Firefighter movie, yeah, with Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And then he was in. Do you know he was in Project X?
Was he in Project X?
Yeah.
The house party movie?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was in Footloose too. I didn't know that.
Wait, what?
The remake?
What?
The remake?
I never watched the new Footloose.
Yeah, he's in it.
Huh.
I'm not sure who he plays.
Just like one of the other dudes, I guess.
The main guy is a guy named Kenny Wormald, who is someone I've never seen before, but
and we'll never see again.
He plays it. Miles Teller plays a guy named Willard, which is appropriate, I guess.
I guess so.
So, what else are we checking out? That's his first movie too, by the way, is Footloose.
Yeah. So the other I watched, the other movie that I watched is I was able to watch this last night. Mandy. I finally got around to watching that.
Yeah.
Fucking killer movie, dude.
It's awesome, right?
Loved it, dude. It was so. I mean,
awesome.
People don't know because this is part of the Lost episode, but we previously talked about it when you watched Mandy.
Yeah.
Our original Lost episode of Ticket Stubs Redux.
Yeah.
But this movie is, I mean, it's what you brought up then. Like, it's super heavy metal, like Redux. When he crafts the axe, I was like dying. It's great. And then it's super weird though, because if the whole thing about it just feels like a very like polished and trippy B movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it's so B movie, it's ridiculous. Like the chainsaw fight and everything, and I loved every second of it. But it's like all that kind of stuff, and then I mean, just like the cult leader villain thing, like in general, was just like. Yeah, it's great. I love it so much. And Nick Cage is, powerhouse. Everybody loves him in this movie. It's like the return of good Nicolas Cage for a lot of critics.
And I don't even think that, and that was a big thing when that movie came out, at least at the festivals or whatever. I think it was at Fantastic Fest or
probably
one of those like genre fests. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But everyone on like No Collider, all those movie websites were saying like, oh, it's the Nicolas Cage that we all like, and I'm like, no, he's the same Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's the same. It's not a different.
It's just the movie around him.
Yeah,
fits Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, well, I was watching Red Letter Media talk about it, and they both said the same thing, where it's like it's Nicolas Cage is going to be Nicolas Cage. It's just you have to have a director or a writer to be able to write him
understand that
play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those are the two guys I look at. I mean, all of them, but those two in particular are guys that I go to them first because I know that they pierce through, and I think they're like they don't they don't get paid to go to movies and stuff, which is nice. But like they also like they pierce through a lot of the bullshit that like. The majority of movie websites get hyped about, and there's a beauty to that because it takes this level of this movie has to be so great, and it brings it back down to it's just a movie. Like, just remember that it's a movie, and it's not the reinvention of whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
all that Star Wars fandom, yeah.
That the Marvel stuff or whatever. No, they did. I watched the review of It before I even watched them. Like it came out the new one.
That was last year, right?
Yeah, last year, and I watched their review probably 8 months later.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about watching the movie because I've seen the miniseries on TV when I was younger.
Right,
that sucked. But I watched the review of it 8 months later, and then like 2 months after that, I was like, whatever. I mean, I have a free afternoon, might as well watch it.
Yeah.
No, but they tempered my expectations, going, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But everyone around me was like, dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, everybody was like, it is the greatest movie of our generation, blah, blah, blah.
It's because those people
we all wanted.
Because those people went on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone's saying, oh my God, it's so amazing. And it's like, well, like, I'm sure it's good, but like, it's not The Godfather Part 2. It's just, it's a fucking movie about an alien.
Yeah.
Or whatever he is, a demon or some shit, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure Part 2 is going to come out and everyone's going to be like, fuck, Bill Hader's in it. Like, don't care. I mean, I'm going to watch it.
Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, it's Jessica Chastain. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, she is in it, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is Mark Ruffalo in it too?
I think he is.
I'm just naming people.
James
I think
McAvoy
that would be it.
Too.
McAvoy's in it, yeah. McAvoy plays the main character, like the main boy?
I think he does, yeah.
Okay.
He either plays the main one or he plays the one that kills himself when he's an old man. I can't remember. Maybe that's Mark Ruffalo's character.
Who's the character who dies before they get together again?
Yeah, it's I think that's Bill, I think. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I've read the beginning of the book so many times because I always start it and then I can't finish it. First of all, because I don't like clowns, and second of all, because the book's like
too long,
really long and boring. And like I've read Stephen King books before. Like, I mean, I don't mind like they're long and boring, but like I read The Stand, and that is a book that's like super long and boring. But I just don't care about any of those characters. I don't know. It's just not for me. And I don't want to see the movie because I don't like clowns. So I'd never watch it.
My Stephen King opinion, not even a political portion of it, because whatever. It's a whole different beast. But in terms of his book, I've never read a Stephen King book before. Never have. Yeah. I've read the first sentence to Dark Tower. That's like what everyone's read. I've read that first sentence.
It's a good sentence.
It's on the back of the book. And I have the first 3 Dark Tower books, and I want to read them. But
I read the first 2. Or did
right.
Yeah, just the no. Yeah, I never started 3. Yeah, I read the first.
But my dad read a lot of Stephen King books growing up, right? And he gave me, I was like, Dad, should I read Stephen King? My dad's a big reader, and he's like, well, you can read like 5. Like read like 5 of them. I was like, okay, well, why? And he says because he's like, dude, it's because Stephen King's the writer, or at least whatever, who wrote 5 or 6 really good books. And then the rest of his books, because he writes a book, like 2 books a year or some shit.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
But the rest of his books are just not as good as those first 5.
Yeah.
Like The Stand, fucking Dark Tower, like 1 to whatever people say that got bad. And then like Christine,
it's like after
Harry,
I think 4 or 5.
Shining.
Everybody's like, oh, Dark Tower sucks now.
Right. You know, and like I saw an interview with Stephen King on YouTube. I was like watching a bunch of authors when I was trying to get like tips for my book that I'm writing, or is on pause right now. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, you just write. And he puts a book out every year. I'm like, but that means the book can't be that good, right? Like you're just buying it because of the name. Now, granted, again, I've never read a Stephen King book, so maybe I'm completely off base. Maybe people.
I mean, I think a lot of his books are very much in that vein of like hit or miss. Like some of them are good and some of them are bad.
Right.
They're not all masterpieces. No matter what pull quote is on the book. Right.
You know, but that's one of the reasons why, like this is obviously not about movies, but we can tie it into movies. Like if a director put a movie out every year, I would assume that the movie just can't be good.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like, that's exactly why Star Wars, I walked out of Solo.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 Star Wars movies in the same like 12-month period.
Yeah.
Like Avengers and like comic book movies, you can do that because they're different characters and like whatever. But like these things initially are going to connect because one's Han Solo and the other one is whatever. But like those,
I
that's
think
too
that'll help
soon.
episode 9 a lot too. Actually, is that year
Gap.
and a half break that they're gonna get?
Well, look at our parents were our parents are probably roughly around the same age, so they were probably 12, 11, 12, 13, 10 range when episode one. Sorry, when New Hope came out.
Yeah,
that's 77, and they had to wait 3 years for Empire.
Yeah.
Could you imagine those 3 years being like, what the fuck is next?
Yeah.
Right, and you have to wait like 2 or 3 more years.
I think it was 2 years to return.
And it's like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
And then you have
Especially
to wait.
After Empire, dude. Like Jesus.
Right, and then when I saw Force Awakens with my dad, I was in the theater, and obviously, like, he didn't want the prequels,
right?
Like, he wanted the sequels, and I didn't care because when episode 1 came out, I was in fucking 2nd grade, whatever. But I've said before, I enjoy those movies for what they are. They're fine to me. They're dumb, they're bad, but the same reason why I like fucking the movie called Teeth. I like that same reason. But but being in the theater with my dad, seeing Force Awakens, and the fucking music hits with the scroll, I got goosebumps, and I left the theater going, that sucked. Like, that was what, and he had to wait 30 years for that, and he was like, it was fine. I was like, all right. And then I don't think he even watched Last Jedi yet. Because I remember I told him, I said, Dad, this movie is garbage.
Yeah.
Great. And then I texted him.
We'll watch it now.
Yeah, and I texted him after I left. I walked out of Solo. I go, Dad, don't watch Solo. He goes, got it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But what else are you watching, though?
The only other thing that I checked out was something that came out Friday. So Black Mirror dropped a new, it's like semi-TV, semi-movie, but Black Mirror dropped their new mini movie, I guess is what I would call it, Bandersnatch, that I watched, which was an interesting concept of a choose-your-own-adventure TV show.
Right.
And it was interesting, to say the least. I think the gimmick definitely helped it out a lot. I think it made it a lot more engaging and a lot more interesting than I think it normally would have been if it would just been like telling a story. I mean, the whole story itself is wrapped around the fact that you are doing a like choose your own adventure. Like, they're very much like a fourth wall break, like part of the way through that like is very obvious, and I think that helps. It helps draw you into it more too, where it's like the character knows that you're like fucking around with them, so it gives it a little bit more appeal of like, oh, I'm actually having like an effect on this world type of thing.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. It was fun. I mean, you like sci-fi stuff. I'd probably check it out if I were you. Plus, it's in the 80s.
Right. I've heard so much about Black Mirror that I actually like, me being a natural like in Black Mirror is so good. I go, eh. But then again, I've spoken before. I don't know if it was on our last Redux episode. I think it might have been because you were talking about the Coen Brothers movie. I cannot stand like compilation type of things. And I remember when Black Mirror first came out, like the first season came out, I was watching someone was watching it, and I was near them. And I go, wait, so it's a one story? Like, no, it's like Twilight Zone. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't like the Twilight Zone in terms of like
just a one-off.
I don't like one-off 20-minute episodes, 22-minute episodes, or whatever, however long Black Mirror is. I'm just giving an example.
They're like an hour each, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like those like self-contained things. I don't like short stories. Like in general, I don't read short stories. If I like The Witcher, for example, The Witcher is a book series that I love, but they started as short stories, and I just haven't read the short stories. And everyone's like, they're so good, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's just me though. I don't have a preference for that. But I mean, I know Keelan, our buddy, he said he's liking the show a lot. The one you're talking about.
I think I like shows like that, especially Black Mirror in general, because it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to watch like one episode, like you totally can. You can just one off it and then like move on to something else. Which I think it's great for that kind of like versatility. Like, I've been jumping around throughout the entire thing. I haven't watched any of the newest season. But I mean, the first 3 seasons are like I mean, altogether in between the first 3 seasons, I think there's only like 15 episodes because the first only had like 3 or 4 each or something like that. But there's some interesting. I mean, they're more about like just the concept themselves more than like the stories a lot of the time, and the concepts make it a lot more interesting. Like the first one I ever saw was the Bryce Dallas Howard one, where it's like your place in society is determined by your social media rating and stuff like that, which is a really cool concept. It was like what would happen if like Instagram determined like how good of a rental car you could get, or like what like if you could be like first class in an airplane or something like that. So it's really really cool concepts like that that they have. This one was kind of weird because the whole part of it is, honestly, if you took it at face value, there's not really like an overall concept like that, other than the choose your own adventure thing. Like the fact that you make choices like is the concept that it's based around. So that's kind of cool and interesting. But I would consider this much more of like, rather than a TV episode, it was more like a multiple ending movie.
Right. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my girlfriend keeps wanting to watch it, but it just doesn't really. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll be dragged into watching it, like I was dragged into watch Riverdale. Yeah. But I just, as of right now, I have no interest in it. But maybe if I watch a cool trailer again, maybe because it's since they're all different, maybe one will like click with my taste and I'll give it a shot. But like the idea, like I could be wrong on what my idea of the show is, but this is what I gather from people who watched it when it first dropped, was like it's like they told me it's the darker Twilight Zone.
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
And I don't really have
it's like darker, like more technology focused. It's much more like technology focused, and it's a lot darker.
Right.
I mean, Twilight Zone was pretty dark for its day, but it's it's like modern day darkness. Twilight Zone, basically.
Right. I gotcha. Okay.
Which is going to be what Jordan Peele's show is. So.
Oh, he has a show coming out?
He's doing the Twilight Zone reboot.
Oh, right. He also has a movie coming out, too.
Yeah, the Us trailer.
Yeah, that movie looks bad.
The Us trailer?
I saw a trailer for it watching football at work, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, did you like Get Out, though?
I thought Get Out was all right. I didn't think it was bad, but...
still haven't watched it. I will not watch it. My foot is in the ground. I will not watch it.
I thought it was good for what it was. It was an interesting concept.
Right.
The messaging behind it was kind of stupid, but
from our perspective, obviously.
Well,
I don't want. Yeah, whatever. Well, I'll get into what I've been watching. First thing I've watched, which is related to what our review movie is this week. I watched a movie from 2000 or 99, 2001, one of those years, early. I grew up watching this movie.
Okay.
Romeo Must Die.
Oh,
with Jet Li and Aaliyah.
I think it's
in a still chubby Anthony Anderson, the guy from that one show on TV about black people.
Yeah.
That show. Blackish.
That one show.
Blackish, yeah. And it's Jet Li, and it's like a Romeo and Juliet story quasi, but not really. But obviously, it's a movie that I think everyone knows, but I don't think that's actually the case because it came out 20-some years ago or however long now. Whatever that math is, 19 years ago, however long, 17 years ago. Yeah. But it's a great movie for what it is. It's a fun early 2000s American hip-hop martial arts film.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, I started watching it, and it cut to the beginning of the movie. There's a scene with DMX in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. This person that I'm watching on the stream, and I'm like, hold on, this stream labeled it as Romeo Must Die. This is clearly Cradle to the Grave.
I was about to say that when I looked at this, I was like, this looks just like Cradle to the Grave.
And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. No, this is Romeo Must Die.
Yeah.
It's happened. I was like,
DMX has more than one movie with Jet Li? That's surprising to me.
I'm the racist one. Fuck. I'm like thinking like I'm the Asian guy looking like this ain't the right Asian movie. I'm like, oh wait, it actually is. It's just a different. They did the same fucking cast. But so yeah, Romeo Must Die. It is what it is. It's fine. It's not like an amazing movie. Parts of it are like really. It's dated as fuck. Super dated. Like It's dated as shit, but that's what you expect.
Cradle of the Grave is too. When I went back, I watched that like a couple months ago, and I was like, "This movie's so dated."
Yeah, exactly. There's all those kind of movies, like the 98 to like 2006 Jet Li movies are like they are what they are. If you don't like them, then you don't like them. That's fine. But like you have to, I think you have to really like have grown up with them to like appreciate how corny they are.
Yeah.
So I watched Romeo Must Die, and then I rewatched Infinity War because it's on Netflix.
Yes.
So I watched that. And my opinion on that is still the same. It's good because I obviously had 10 years of movies to watch before that. So like that, obviously. And then I watched Brian Regan, his new Netflix show called Stand Up in a Way, which is like a stand-up / sketch show by Brian Regan. If you know who Brian Regan is, he's a really funny comedian.
Yeah.
His show's good. Liked it a lot. It's not as good as the Norm Macdonald show, but that's fine. They're both good. And then last night I watched at like 1 a.m. Got home from a sports pub with our friends. We were watching the fight. We were watching the fight / watching the Oklahoma-Alabama game. And I got home at like whatever time. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, all right, well, I'll just watch something. And I watched the documentary on Netflix called The American Meme. It's a documentary following like social media influencer people. And it follows like Paris Hilton. It follows
Does it follow that Jew?
It follows him.
God damn it! I hate that dude.
Yeah, it follows the girl who's like always naked. She's in the music video from Robin Thicke.
I don't know.
So her last name's like Super Russian, like or something. It's Eastern European, but she's American. Whatever that girl's name is, it follows her. Follows some photographer guy. Again, I'm past that age where, I don't know what's like Instagram people. Like I don't know that stuff. I don't really follow meme accounts. I don't know that shit. I'm like I think
Emily Ratajkowski.
Yes, Ratatat. That girl.
Look at this last name.
Ratajkowski, maybe?
That's what it is. Ratajkowski. Right.
I know she's like super famous, like super popular from like being.
I've never even heard of this chick in my entire life.
Having like boob pictures. I didn't until this thing, but I know my girlfriend knows who she is. But like, I think at the point in my life, I'm so far removed from that because I'm just not. Yeah. I've curated my social media to my exact needs.
Yeah.
And as nearly a 26-year-old person, I just don't care about.
Yeah.
That shit. Like my Instagram is literally football, baseball, hockey, and like 2 people who play video games.
Yeah.
That's really it. And my friends, people I know.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have Facebook. My YouTube channel is the exact same thing as my Instagram.
Yeah.
And plus, but more video games, and that's really it. And more movie stuff. But the documentary is interesting. It a couple of the people, there's the photographer guy who goes to clubs. His job is to go to like nightclubs and like pour alcohol on girls, and like they take their boobs out and like they take pictures of them and puts them on his Instagram. His Instagram's name is like Slut Whisperer or something.
Huh.
And he's like a really popular guy. Apparently, I've never been to his account, but it shows him like going to these nightclubs and like partying and like drinking a ton and like taking pictures of naked chicks and like girls' butts and all this stuff. But then it gets to a really good level because the rest of the people in the documentary are like just like, yeah, Paris Hilton's like, yeah, I'm here, I'm famous, and then the fat Jew guy's like, yeah, I'm famous, I do this, what I'm doing, I'm making money, and then it goes to the photographer guy, and his parents are from Russia or something, right? He's like a first generation Russian American, and he dropped out of college. He was like at art school, and he started doing this photography stuff and making money, having a good time, and he's sitting there and he's talking about how he thinks he can't do this for another year because it's breaking his body down. And he's like, he in the documentary, from what I'm gathered from the way he was talking, it's almost as though he's seeing that it's a shallow life.
Huh.
And he mentions in the documentary, like, I look at my friends who like have a family and have like a job, and he goes, and they've built something, and I haven't built anything, right? And that part of the documentary would be cool if it was like extended, like if they showed other people, but it was a good like dichotomy between like showing the people who just take it for what it is, and then that are suffering, not suffering, but like like the ramifications of it. Yeah. But even though the fat Jew guy from the documentary seems really annoying, like his persona is really annoying from the documentary, he mentions in it like, hey, this fame thing won't last forever. There'll be another one. So I have to get what I can get now. And I go, hey, that's fucking smart. Yeah. It's business. That's fucking smart as shit, right? Overall, the documentary was whatever. It's fine. It reminds me of like those, like the one that not Ronda Rousey, the ones that what's the girl from the Office, but the Office and from Parks and Rec. What's her name? Rashida Jones. Oh,
Rashida Jones. Okay.
She like produced like a couple like porn documentaries or whatever. I remember watching the first one, and I was like, oh yeah, this is very similar about like, amateur porn or whatever, and like how women are used in a weird way in like in Florida or some shit. Yeah. And to me, it was the same baseline. Like it was insightful enough, but at the same time, it was just fluff. But it was fine. Like I enjoyed it for what it was. I fast forwarded through a lot of parts though, because I like a lot of the fat Jew parts. I'm like, this is like I don't care. So I kind of like skimmed through that and got to the guy that I cared about really. But watched that, and the last thing I watched was that's it. That's all I watched.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Hey.
So next thing we got coming up in the segments is anything news related. So Zach, have you heard anything news down the wire that's worth talking about?
Got a couple things. So Kevin Feige came out and he's talking about because the Fox deal went through this year. So he was talking a little bit about when timeline for adapting all the Fox properties they have, mostly the X-Men stuff, and they got Fantastic Four now and all that kind of stuff. And basically he said that in the next 6 months they're going to start working on creating those titles and those movies. And so basically Phase 4 is going to be like all the Marvel or all the Fox and Marvel shit.
Right.
And I'm down for it. I don't know. I want them to I want this to happen just so I can finally see a good Fantastic Four movie. That's what I'm hoping for out of all this. I don't really care about the X-Men stuff anymore. I really just want to see a good Fantastic Four movie. That's all.
Right. Well, if I said I didn't care about X-Men as I have a fucking Wolverine statue next to me, I don't care either way. I'm tired of them making I don't think Fantastic Four at this point, after having 4 shit movies.
Oh my god, was there 4?
Yeah, there was one that was unreleased like in the 90s. And it was really bad.
Oh my god.
You go on YouTube and watch parts of it. Don't think it is, and I love FF. I love the family. I love the books, the comic books. Yeah. At this point, I just don't think it's something that is meant to be on film.
Yeah,
I really don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe it's something I think it should be better as a serialized thing, like a TV show or something. I don't know, but I think as a film series, that maybe it's not meant to be that. X-Men is also similar to me. I'm thinking like there's just too many characters to really.
Yeah,
I mean, like
I think the X-Men works
obviously if you if you do the base core X-Men team of any sort of core X-Men team, it's probably the Avengers size, but they're not gonna. You can't just come out with the fucking they can't make an X-Men movie for every X-Men. Like they gotta do it's a team movie from the get go, and well, that's fine, and I'm sure that can work because the first 3 ones made money. I'm pretty sure maybe the other ones I'm sure First Class made money too and everything, but at this point I'm so fatigued from those 2 particular franchise series that I would rather them go in a whole different direction. Like, okay, we got the Fox deal, cool, we'll start working on that. We can maybe do some shit with that, but I want I want some fucking cool character that we wouldn't even I want Guardians of the Galaxy thing to happen again. Let's just pick some random shit. We get a Nova movie coming out. Put that out first. Put Nova out.
Yeah.
Let's get because they hinted at the note. They obviously showed Nova Corps and Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Let's fucking put out Celestial movie or some shit like that. Go out there.
Yeah.
They showed that with Thor Ragnarok that they can kind of
Yeah.
They can go out there and people will still succeed. I mean, but I get it. Everyone wants to see Wolverine in the Avengers.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. That's basically what it is, yeah.
So, what else you got?
So trailer dropped recently for a movie that I'd never heard of, and now I'm now interested in seeing, called Teen Spirit.
Okay, never mind.
With Elle Fanning in it. It's basically a musical where she ends up going to like an American Idol competition, and about her journey to do that. And the trailer looked really dope, and I want to see it. It looks really, really good.
It's Elle Fanning or whatever?
Yeah, Elle Fanning of Neon Demon fame. Probably not famous for that.
So fucking bad, dude.
Oh, you watched that?
What?
Neon Demon?
Yeah, of course I did. It's what's his name?
It's Nicholas Refn.
Nicholas Refn. Of course you watched it.
I want to, but I haven't yet.
It's not good. It's not good.
Is it as bad as Only God Forgives?
Yes.
Oh boy,
it's bad. And I don't mean to criticize someone else's life work, but flat out, like, Refn has made 2 good movies in my opinion, which is sad because I think Drive is like in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah,
if not in my top 5, probably top 10, not top 5. I mean, that looks okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was interested in it. I hadn't even really heard about it or seen anything from it until this week, and yeah, the trailer dropped, and I don't know. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool. She's a pretty solid actor.
Yeah.
So
she's good stuff. And then the other thing is the Us trailer, but we already kind of talked about that a little bit. I mean, I liked it. I'm interested.
Yeah.
To see it, but
I don't care for horror films, and I don't necessarily care for commentary heavy movies, which I don't know if this is going to be that or not. I'm just basing it off.
He said that this wasn't going to be as commentary heavy as Get Out.
Okay.
It's really not about that. It's really just about being a horror movie. So I don't know.
Because the trailer itself didn't really woo me. I mean, it looks like a generic ass slasher horror film to me, which is maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know. And that's a whole market that I'm not part of.
Yeah.
If it was like the black family goes to the beach and then they open up, they go, the kid walks to the water, the shoreline, and then there's like a gangster, and then the gangster kills somebody, and then it's Road to Perdition. Then that's my kind of movie. That's what I want to watch, right? But if it's like horror film and it's like, hey, they're us. Oh no, like that doesn't do anything for me. That's just obviously that's just me. But
I feel you.
I will never watch Get Out. No matter how. Again, this is purely a contrarian thing, and I can't help it. It's part of who I am. Like, everyone puts, part of it is the message that I don't necessarily think, from what I've gathered, is amazing. To I know that I would probably get annoyed watching it, which is why I don't even risk the chance of doing that. But also, I think that when everybody says it's so good, and I'm late to the game, I'm only going to get disappointed. And there's no point. At that point, is no, like, I can't imagine people who are like being born now, and if they go to film school, everyone's telling them, yo, Citizen Kane is the shit.
Yeah.
You watch Citizen Kane. Psycho is amazing.
Yeah.
And they've grown up 18 years watching fucking Saw as a classic horror film or some shit. And they go watch Psycho, and it's like, this movie fucking blows, dude.
Yeah.
And fucking scary. Like, that's to me, like, that's what happens, but in microcosms. Like, Get Out is so good. Get Out is movie of the year. The commentary, the acting, it's so smart and so good. I'm sitting there going, okay, well, I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend it's fucking, insert any other movie that's better. It's not fucking Road to Perdition, like I said.
Yeah.
It's not fucking good as Predator. Let's be real. It's not good as Predator. And Predator is not Road to Perdition.
No.
It's not
Predator is not Road to Perdition.
Yeah, it's not like it's like the outrage culture of movie. It's not outrage culture in terms of that, but the equivalent to the hype train for movies and people. People who make movies in those movies. It makes me not want to see those movies, which is dumb. I know that, but at the same time, it's just how it is for me, and that's exactly why I waited a year to watch it. Why I insert any movie. I didn't see Black Panther the day it came out because it's the best movie of all time of the year. It should win an Oscar. No, I'm not. I probably shouldn't because it's a superhero movie.
It's getting me more and more mad when I keep seeing these people putting out their awards prediction, and I keep seeing shit from Black Panther.
Yeah,
like the only thing. Honestly, it shouldn't get anything because Avengers was better than it in every aspect.
Like, and this is, I know people are going to take that as though it's some racially based thing. Yeah. There's a white guy and there's an Asian white guy talking about Black Panther shouldn't win an Oscar. Well, fucking it shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a bullshit movie.
Like the literally the CGI was worse than Infinity War.
It looked awful.
The story, the writing was bland. The overall story of the film was a generic origin story.
Yeah.
The bad guy was wasted.
Yeah.
The final fight was legit all CG and kind of whatever.
Yeah.
The final death scene, spoiler, was whatever. They go to the same set pieces so many times.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the same fight on the goddamn waterfall twice. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
That story beat to me was just boring.
Yeah.
Right. Other than that, I mean, it was fine. It's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to nominate Ant-Man for a fucking Oscar?
I would nominate Ant-Man best comedy.
I mean, like, I don't. Yeah, but like to act like whatever the awards that this movie was nominated for, and those for Emmy, right, or Golden Globe or some shit.
I think it's been nominated for Golden Globes.
Best drama.
A lot of people think it's going to get nominated for an Oscar, and
if it's nominated for an Oscar or come February, whenever the award show is, and again, Oscars don't mean shit, but if it gets nominated for an Oscar, it's purely out of pressure. Because it's like sure. let's go up and pull up a list of every Best Picture winner, and that is not even close to what the criteria is. There's not even a category for Best Action Film. Then maybe that could be it. But even then, I think Infinity War beat it.
Yeah.
But for Best like dramatic film, like come on, dude.
Yeah.
There's literally the dude puts on a fake costume from Magic Beads.
Yeah.
That's the best dramatic movie? What won last year?
It was
not Moonlight, right?
It was Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Okay, a movie where a fucking lady fucks an alien thing.
Fishman.
That's okay. I get it. There's a deep message there. And it's Del Toro, who is a guy, a fantastic director and writer, and the writing's guaranteed better.
Yes.
Before that, what won? Moonlight, right?
Moonlight.
Okay, that hey, better movie.
Yeah.
Before that, what won the year before that? Was it Revenant?
Yeah, it was
Revenant.
The Revenant didn't win Best Picture. I think
it won Best Actor.
Spotlight won Best Picture.
Spotlight. Okay, that
which was a shitty movie.
Okay,
I didn't like it. It won because of the journalism thing, which pisses me off.
Exactly, that's what it was. But hold on, hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. Oscar winners for Best Picture. I'm pulling it up right now.
2014 was shit. What was 2014? That was
2014 was Birdman. Birdman. Hey, fantastic film.
Yeah.
Amazing director. Killer. The year before that, 12 Years a Slave. Great movie.
Yeah.
Good movie. The year before that, Argo. Come on. Fantastic movie. Year before that, 2011, The Artist. That's a stretch.
That's a stinger.
That's a stretch. Year before that, The King's Fucking Speech. Yeah. Duh. 09, Hurt Locker. A. Come on. Catherine Bigelow? Yeah, duh.
Come on, my guy.
08, Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah, I got it. 07, No Country for Old Fucking Men.
Hell fucking yes.
And then I'm going to end it here. 06, The Fucking Departed. Now, let me ask you this, Zach. In what world does fucking superhero movie fit into that? Oh, well, Jason. It's times are changing. Insert that song. Times are changing. Superhero movies should
changes.
They deserve to be seen in the same spotlight as the rest of dramatic films. No, they don't.
Wrong.
Because it's a movie about a guy or girl in a costume.
Yeah.
And there's no stakes.
Yeah.
Because did you ever think that Black Panther?
The Lord of the Rings, there was like stakes, and it was like an epic movie.
Right. Like, did you ever think that Black Panther wasn't gonna win?
Yeah.
Like, no, we knew.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch Argo and you don't know what happens in the real life world of Argo, you're gonna go, oh shit, do they get like No Country for Old Men, even though I hate the ending of that movie, subverts every expectation.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, by the way, you want to see all this action? Fuck you.
Yeah, no action.
You cut back to when the scene's over.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's just saying. What else you got?
That's really all I got. The only other thing that I had really was that the Russo brothers had been talking about Avengers Infinity War, and apparently it could be over 3 hours long. So take your Batman support, kids.
Right.
Which I believe. I mean, they're known for yanking everybody's chain and lying about all kinds of shit, but I mean, Avengers Infinity War was almost 3 hours. I don't know why this wouldn't be close to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't understand why, if they're going to nominate a Marvel movie, why that one wasn't nominated. Just, I don't know. But whatever. What news for me? I only got a couple things here. First thing, I saw a trailer for a movie called The Kid Who Would Be King.
I saw that trailer. Where I saw Bumblebee.
Yeah, that trailer looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
That movie looks so cool and fun. And it's the guy who did Attack of the Block, I think. Attack of the Block.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Attack of the Block.
Pretty sure. And then that trailer looks super fun. King Arthur story in England with some kids, and looks fucking cool.
Dude, I'm just over the whole King Arthur thing, but
there's only been one King Arthur movie in the past however long.
Yeah, but there's just so many out there. You got the Clive Owen one. You got
dude. Yeah. Clive Owen one? I don't know. I've never seen that one.
It's called like Arthur, isn't it?
Oh, that one sucked.
Yeah.
Is that Alexander?
Or is that Alexander? I thought it was Arthur.
Which one's Alexander?
Maybe I'm fucked up.
Was it just like a lesbian scene or something, right? Or a gay scene?
No, it's Arthur. King Arthur.
Okay. That one has Hugh Dancy in it, right?
Does it? It's got Keira Knightley in it.
His name Hugh Dancy.
Is Hugh Dancy in this?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, King Arthur.
And Matt Mikkelsen.
Yeah. It's the cast of Hannibal.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
This movie came out.
Good show.
King Arthur came out around the same time as fucking hold on. Maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see.
It came out in 2004.
This movie came out around the same time as Kingdom of Heaven.
And Hellboy.
I remember that I was like, Kingdom of Heaven is so much better than this movie.
Yeah.
And I remember rewatching Kingdom of Heaven recently.
Dude, this came out at the same time as Troy. Troy's fantastic.
Yeah. And I remember this is all in the same like 4 or 5 year period where they doing so many like epic movies, like the genre epic movies. And I remember Kingdom of Heaven, I thought was so cool when it came out, and I rewatched it as an adult person, and it's whatever. But Troy is still fucking good.
Troy is so good.
Troy is still good. But I saw a video recently about how Troy is wrong. No, it was a review of a book. It was a book I saw at the bookstore. It was a retelling of Troy. The author took the story of Troy and they were rewriting it. You know, it's still based in the Troyan whatever the fuck, Greek Roman times, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it looks cool. The cover looks cool. I might check it out. And I was reading the Goodreads reviews of it, and every review was like 5 stars. Every review was like, all caps. Thank you. You wrote the right book this time. It shows how Achilles was gay or something. And I was like, I mean, I get how like him and this guy were like banging or something. Like him and the boy in the beginning of the movie, like they were apparently like they in history or something. I guess they were like fucking. I don't know. I'm not a historian. I don't know. But I remember like reading all the reviews where that's the top comment was like, oh yeah, this movie's so good or whatever. And I'm like, or this book is so great because of this one particular thing. I was like, well, is the book good in general? Like, is it good because it's fun, action based, or is it good because they show him being gay?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, but do they kill people? Like, do they have big action scenes? Like, I want to like that's what I wanted from the book was like him like cutting people's heads off and shit. Clearly, my mind was somewhere else. Everyone else was about on ding dongs, and I wanted to have like Achilles or whatever his name is, like going around like stabbing people in the heart and shit. Short story. I didn't get the book, but
long story short.
Yeah. Other than that, that trailer looks really cool to me. I'm gonna watch it probably not in theaters, but I'll probably watch it online when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it in theaters, but I'll probably check it out. We'll see.
2 more things from me. I got Jack Black starts a YouTube channel.
Oh my god! And he already hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that because apparently it's like a project for his kid to work on. Yeah. Like his kid's gonna do all the work for it. He's gonna be that's cool. I'm excited for that. That's a cool dad son thing. I love Jack Black.
Yeah.
My last thing of news, and I don't even have the numbers on this yet. I just read this on articles, scrolling through stuff. And I can probably pull up the numbers, but the new Will Ferrell movie with John C. Reilly, Holmes and Watson.
Ugh.
So the trailer came out months ago, and I just watched it, and I literally was disgusted.
Yeah. No, this movie.
It was so unfunny. And then I saw a review. It came out because the movie came out, whatever. That is a 0% movie.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes.
I think it's got like 9% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. I thought it was in like the single digits.
It's at 9% right now.
Yeah, single digits.
Now, I remember watching the trailer and thinking this looks like complete garbage.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm glad that everyone else thinks so too. Audience score is 28%. Critic score is 9%. And it just doesn't look good, dude. It didn't look funny. It looked boring. The trailer to me had literally no funny bits in it, which is funny because I think John C. Reilly is really funny. I don't care for Will Ferrell, but
I love John C. Reilly.
You know, I was so disappointed. Even though I'm mad that we got this Watson movie, Holmes Watson, but we can't get Sherlock Holmes 3 from Guy Ritchie.
That's what to say, man. Where's my part 3 at, man?
Yeah, so that's all my news. That's what I mentioned. That movie did really bad, and you know, I'm sure it cost a ton to make. You know, at least a ton for.
Not as bad as like that Mortal Engines movie did. Whew!
I want to see that so bad, dude.
Dude, that movie made like $9 million, and it had like $100 million budget.
All right, hold on. Let's see Mortal Engines.
That movie did hard garbage.
Hard
garbage.
37%. I mean, I feel like it's good, dude.
I heard it was very steampunky, so if you like steampunk, that's the movie for you.
I just think the idea of it is cool. That's all it is.
I think the idea is cool of like the movie cities that like eat other cities.
Yeah, that's cool to me. I'll probably read the book instead. But that's my last piece of news. So you want to go ahead and get into our review movie of the week?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Right. What's our movie this week, Zach?
Our movie this week is the oh my god, I can't say his name. The Baz Luhrmann classic film from 1996, starring the heartthrob Leo DiCaprio himself at the peak of his teenage heartthrob career, and Claire Danes in a role that I forgot that this was Claire Danes.
Yeah, absolutely.
John Leguizamo, Paul Rudd, star-studded cast. Romeo and Juliet, the modern retelling of the old play that you had to read in high school.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Zach. Yeah, when's the first time if you ever seen it before, Romeo?
I had seen it once before. I'd seen it in 9th grade, or was it 10th grade? Something like that. I think it was 9th grade. I think it was 9th grade English. We watched Romeo and Juliet. This movie looks amazing. It looks really good. It still looks really good. Baz Luhrmann, I mean, he's always had good visuals. I mean, Moulin Rouge, Great Gatsby, these are all his movies. They all look fantastic. By no fault of his own, this movie bored me. But that's just because William Shakespeare, to me, particularly this, Romeo and Juliet, is a boring story. that makes me frustrated. Because the whole time it's like if you hit the theme of Romeo and Juliet is if you had some fucking patience, you wouldn't die. And check your goddamn mail.
Right.
That's the whole theme of Romeo and Juliet. Have patience and check your goddamn mail, and you won't die.
How did you feel about? So you said it's boring. You said
I will say the action scenes that he had are done really, really well. There's only like 3 of them, but I like them. I like the opening scene. I think the opening scene is fucking fantastic at the gas station. That really captures your attention. But after that, you have Leo looking like a sad boy on a pier, and I'm like, I'm bored already. Like, I don't care anymore. I don't know. It was fine. It's not Lerman's fault that this movie is boring. I just find Romeo and Juliet boring, and so I was bored.
Well, I have seen this movie also just once before, and I've seen it way younger than high school. I was probably in like middle school or something, and it was accidental on TV or something, or maybe even younger than that, and I just didn't get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, so I can't even count that, but I remember vaguely from being young that it just had young Leo DiCaprio. That's all I remember. So coming in, this was almost like a fresh viewing again, almost.
Yeah.
And I agree with you absolutely in terms of, dude, the editing in this movie is fantastic. Like,
it's so good. And I love Lerman because he does things. You can tell that he does things in his movie simply because he thinks it looks cool. Yeah, and it does. Like, there are points in this movie where it's like the scene that always stuck out to me in my mind was when you first see Juliet and her mother, and like her mother's getting ready, and he like intentionally like he keeps the dialogue the same speed, but he intentionally like speeds up time around them, and it looks super cool. And I'm like, that looks rad. I'm still bored though.
Like, I remember watching it and going, dude, like the editing is so Kim, whether it's from like Great Gatsby, or like Moulin Rouge or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, and I'm seeing all like the fast cuts and like the exotic angles and the Dutch angles and all the. Yeah. I'm like, this dude was doing Guy Ritchie and Edgar Wright, like when they like before they were doing it. Well, obviously Guy Ritchie's pretty close, but like they had the same idea. Like, we're gonna do a ton of these fast cuts.
Yeah.
And the editing and the visuals and the style and the art direction, I think, are like so cool. Yeah. Like, I like that the Montagues are all like Hawaiian shirts. Like, that to me is rad.
I love that. I love that the Capulets are all like Latino,
like Western. Yeah, you know, even though Claire Danes is clearly a white girl, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the one weird. But then also her dad is like Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very strange mix that they have going on.
Right. You know, but like I like that they have like this like Western, like John Leguizamo is like a Western kind of like Desperado, like the movie Desperado, like has like or whatever, like, the Mexican or whatever the movie's called from.
When he takes off his jacket, he's got the giant Santa Maria on his back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know, and like, all that stuff reminds me of a Suda 51 game, and like. I love that the style direction and the directing itself is fantastic. Mm-hmm. But I also agree with you 100%, dude. And tell me if you didn't feel this way. So I start the movie, I get to the gas station scene, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yes, I was in 100%.
Hold on.
Okay, all right.
It starts, and visually, I'm like, dude, I'm in it. This is fucking 90s as shit. This looks sweet. The angles, the shot choice, the fucking low angles of the boots clicking in the foot. I'm like, this looks dope. And then they start talking. And I'm like, okay, hold on.
I'm waiting.
I'm letting it go. No, not you. I'm letting it go in. Okay. I'm trying to like, and literally within 2 minutes, my eyes glaze over and I have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
I had a similar thing. This is a movie because he's stuck with the original English, which is fine, but like you have to really pay attention to figure out what they're saying because Old English is really fucking hard to understand in modern America. But I mean, I understood it more now than I think I did the first time I watched it. like in context wise, I like I at least like knew what they were trying to say. But there are still there were moments in there where I'm like,
but they're talking in the what's it called? Iambic pentameter.
Yeah.
But they're talking the dialogue in that like as though it's a play, which in theory is like that's super cool.
Yeah.
Right. But as someone who is not a Shakespeare person, I hated reading it in high school. If you asked me to read a play now, I would say eat dicks. Like not doing it, right? And even in high school, I'm like, I'm fucking dumb. I can extrapolate what they're saying by looking at the words on the page. But when you're saying them to me out loud, I don't have time to decipher what you're saying. So when you add in sound effects and other visuals that I'm looking at, dude, my ears just went, okay.
Done.
And they become sound effects. And I'm going to tell you this 100%. I don't think I heard a single word this entire movie. 2 hours, right? I remember I was literally watching it going, and just looking at it was like watching anime, but it's in Japanese with no subtitles. That's what it was to me. Like, okay, they're saying stuff. Yeah. And they're doing cool stuff. I'm enjoying what they're doing. And I can kind of like understand by the tone of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then I was watching going, okay, yeah. They go to the scene where they're in Juliet's house with her mom. And I'm like, okay, she's mad or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Go to Leo DiCaprio. He's still sad, blah, blah, blah. Then he has his like cross-dressing friend comes out. I'm like, okay, this is funny. Cool. Yeah. I know what they're saying. Something about girls, I guess. And he freaks out for some reason. And then all that stuff until the scene where after the party where Romeo is like calling out to the window.
Oh yeah.
And I go, I know this.
I know this shit.
I know what he's doing. Because it slows down.
Yes.
And it's just him. I go, I got it. I got this part.
Yeah.
Right? But the rest after that part, dude, I don't know what the fuck what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like if it was just, hey, this is a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to it, I'm gonna go, yo, I'm turning this off. Right? That's not, but everything else with the movie is so cool. Like it's such a weird like opposing forces. Like if they just made modern dialogue and not be in like the play rhythm or whatever, this movie would be legitimately fucking rad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree for sure. I think I like what he was doing. He had the concept of I'm going to make a modern retelling and keep all the words and everything and keep it in that like modern 90s setting. And I get where he's coming for. But yeah, like as a 25-year-old man, I don't want to listen to old English.
Right.
It's not something that gets me going. So I was and like I said, I find the story of Romeo and Juliet boring as hell. So
how do you feel about the performances of the people, like the actors? How do you feel about their performances?
I think all of the performances were great. Like I loved, like John Leguizamo was fucking killer in this. I loved him so much.
Right.
He just viewed all the scenery that he was in, and like he was fantastic.
He went all in.
Yeah, he went all in on his character, and you can tell that like he really enjoyed like being in this movie. And like even Leo, like this was I think this movie was like. It was either like at the same time or like right before Titanic, and it was like it might have been a couple of years.
I'm assuming before. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
But
maybe.
But I mean, he's all right in it. I think he's probably one of the weaker parts about the whole movie is Leo. Honestly,
I agree.
And Claire Danes too. I just don't care about either one of them. But everybody else in it was like her mom was killer. Both their dad. You don't really see Romeo's dad too much, but Juliet's dad had me. He was good.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised, and I have no idea about this statement, so don't like people who do know. I mean, whatever. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if the older cast, like the outer cast, actually were stage actors.
Yeah.
They were. I feel like when they were spitting out the lines, auditory. It sounded like less forced, but every time Leo talked, I was like, "Oh man, this is really like struggling." You know, and I thought Claire Danes was better in this movie than Leo is. But at the same time, I don't know Claire Danes' body of work besides Homeland. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of like the films, again, like we already established that we think the audio and the visuals, all that stuff is like spot on cool.
Yeah.
How do you think this movie compares to his other movies?
I was actually talking about this with my buddy, and
did your buddy watch it with you?
No, I watched it by myself, but I was talking. I came back the next day and told him that I had watched it, and I was talking a little bit about his other stuff. I think it's one of my favorites. I think The Great Gatsby for me is like my least favorite of his, just because I don't know.
Really?
I just don't like The Great Gatsby story all that much.
Dude,
but it looks so awesome. Yeah, I mean, The Great Gatsby movie looks awesome, but I just don't care about that. Like I didn't care about it when we read it in 11th grade, and I don't care about it, or 10th grade, and I don't care about it now. And then I love Moulin Rouge. I think Moulin Rouge is probably my favorite movie of his.
Right.
But I think this is like a close second for me. I like this movie a lot. It's not one I would probably watch Great Gatsby before I watch this, just because Great Gatsby is easier to follow. But
dude, I love Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
I love the book. I love the movie. I love both movies. I love and the newer one, the Baz Luhrmann one, obviously, I think is so fucking good. Even with the Jay-Z crap, I think it's so good. I think it's legitimately a great movie. Like Leo is so killer in it, and Tobey Maguire is okay. As Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio were friends growing up. Like they've been best friends for a long time, apparently.
Yeah.
That is clear to me in that movie. That there's a great right. And then Carey Mulligan, oh, she's so good in it. And then Jason Clarke is in it, dude.
Yeah,
he's great in it too.
Yeah.
And give me all the editing.
And then Joel Edgerton is in it too.
Yeah, give me all the cutting, editing, visual styles, music cues, everything that I like from Romeo and plus Juliet, whatever, and put it into a movie where I care about the story more.
Yeah,
and I can understand better, like you said.
Yeah,
I like it more. I think Romeo and Juliet plus Juliet, whatever, however the fuck it's supposed to be called.
I think it's supposed to be Romeo and Juliet.
I've always called it Romeo plus Juliet because that's what the thing says.
Yeah,
I don't want to. It's not, to me. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
I think it's a fun movie, just even from my perspective of it.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. Mm-hmm. I think that I'm just too dumb to like really like soak in the dialogue, because even being in 9th grade and we had to read fucking Shake This Play out loud, I remembered I was bitching so much to my teacher, and like it was mostly me and all the dudes. Like, so me and all the fucking 14-year-old boys were like, this place sucks.
Yeah.
Why would he fall in love with her after a week?
And in the movie, it's even less time. It's literally like 2 hours. And he's like, I love you. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Of course, that's like, well, I mean, duh, it's a fucking play. But still, it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
But would you, if you had to give this a score, though, like in terms of everything, how do you feel about it?
Overall, if I had to give it out of 5, I'd give it like a 3.5.
3.5 out of 5. Okay.
I think to me, the only reason it gets dragged down is because it's the Romeo and Juliet story, and that's just, once again, it's just something that I don't care about. But everything else, I mean, it's above average in everything else. It's just for me is something I personally don't care about, and so that drags it down for me. But yeah, I would give it like a 3.5.
I'm right there with you. I give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah. Because I think the cast it's star-studded cast. I think everyone, even though I think Leonardo DiCaprio, and definitely I feel like he struggled the lines a little bit. Yeah. With that being said, I think he still was perfectly fine in it.
Yeah. Granted, he still played his part the way he was able to do.
And the idea of him, like the way they portrayed him, was, I think it's really cool. It's interesting. Yeah. And the music is great, and the visuals are great, and again, the editing is great.
God, the music in this movie is so good.
Yeah, which is not surprising because it's Baz Luhrmann. So you get to go to a Baz Luhrmann film, you know it's going to be good visuals and good music.
Nice.
Yeah, so that makes up for whatever. Like in Great Gatsby, for example, the girl who plays the actress who plays Jordan, she's not an actress. She's like a model or something.
Yeah.
And acting, right? But she has the visuals and music around the scene to really just like buffer out whatever skill she doesn't have. You know, and of course she's playing off of people who are fantastic actors, so it's like it all helps out. So in this movie, even if DiCaprio isn't spitting out iambic pentameter lines, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, the lines super like, oh yeah, that's how I would say it, because obviously they're saying the lines around a movie scene versus a play stage. It buffers out because the people around him are so committed. Like his group of friends in the movie, like they are in it. Like his cousin, what's his name? Whatever's the guy with the guy with the weird hair color and like the super like the guy who's driving the car in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, like that dude is so committed.
Oh yeah, dude.
To the role, like you just okay. I'm in it. I'm solid. You know
that his best friend, the black guy, loves him.
Black guy, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's good. It's fun. It's cool. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, obviously, just my personal preference of not being able to understand half of the dialogue, except for the scenes I do know. Or when it slowed down, when the scenes slowed down, I was able to But when they're like the scene where they're talking to Romeo when his black friend comes up and they're talking about the tickets to the party, that whole scene, dude, I don't know what the fuck they said because they were all talking
super fast.
The fireworks are going off, with the party going on. But when the scene slows down and it's just 1 or 2 people talking to each other, then I can go, okay, cool, I can comprehend more. But when it's like 5 people talking or like yapping going around, yo, dude, I can't. It's not for me, you know. But overall, I think it's a fun movie. I think something that's fun. I think it's cool that they play it in school, you know?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a fun way to teach the Romeo and Juliet story for sure. I think it's the fact that they played in school and the fact that it's good enough to where you can play it in school and you're not really missing anything. Right. I would say the same thing about his Great Gatsby movie. I think that's one thing that he does really, really well is being able to really adapt, the source material.
Absolutely. And he's a director that I go see regardless. Yeah. Because he's made movies whether it's this one or Great Gatsby or his ones in between those movies, where it shows me that he is so visually stunning and different that I'm going to see the movies regardless. Let's see. Oh, he's Australian. I know that. Yeah. Great Gatsby. And then between that, the last movie he did between Great Gatsby was Moulin Rouge, apparently. Yeah. So a whole 12 years.
Yeah, dude, he does not make movies that often.
He's a lot of short stuff. And I've seen he did a short thing called he did some stuff for the Get Down Netflix show.
Yeah, the Netflix show.
He did that, and I watched some of that.
I didn't watch it. Good. Did you like it?
It was canceled. Yeah, it was all right. It was clearly that style. Yeah. But I think from Moulin Rouge alone, that movie is so solid that you're in, you know. Yeah. It's something about the way he directs movies and makes them are so visually entertaining. Yeah. It's not just movies where it's okay, yeah, well the acting is going to be good. Yeah. Or the scenes are going to be good, but everything you get is going to be a whole package of this visual eye pleasure, and it's that's pretty dope. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Mention Romeo plus Juliet and Juliet before we?
No, I think for the most part we covered anything. I mean, the only other thing I was going to bring up with the soundtrack because I've been running through those songs and I put 2 of them immediately on my playlist. I was I forgot about these songs and I've just been blasting them all week.
Which one?
Especially. Well, the what is it? Oh my god, hold on, let me pull it up. The Love Fool. I've been playing Love Fool over and over again from when she first figures out that, or when she first sends her maid to meet up with Romeo. Young Hearts Run Free. From when his black friend pulls up and they're blasting out of the stereo, and I was yeah, this is a banger.
And I like that we keep calling him his black friend.
Yeah.
But because I don't know his name.
I can't remember his. It's like Mercury something like that.
Is
I don't know.
that Mercutio?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Mercutio.
Okay. Is that him? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
remember.
it is.
Wait, what is
The only one with
John?
like
what is John Leguizamo's name?
The what?
What is John's name?
I just know the Prince of Cats because I remember the Mercutio said that he called them Prince of Cats. That's all I can remember.
All right. Well, that's this week's episode.
That is this week's episode, you guys.
What do you have an idea for next week's movie, Zach?
I do.
Okay.
So
you want to tell me
this? I bring up this movie because in my newsroom, we recently had a fight because we were talking about. We brought up movies for some reason, and for some reason, The Breakfast Club was brought up, and I brought up the fact that I think overall, The Breakfast Club is an overrated John Hughes movie.
Absolutely.
I think it is. I think it's a fine movie, but I think he has a lot of movies that are better than it. Yeah. And like in particular, I said Weird Science or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I enjoy much more than Breakfast Club.
100%.
My male anchor, and the guy I watch movies with all the time, both gave me looks like I had said that I pray Satan and that I had split a goat's throat in front of them and like drawn a pentagram on the ground.
Right.
But we did a Twitter poll, and the Twitter poll was our social media girl put out a Twitter poll, and they asked to settle the newsroom debate, what is the better 80s movie? And it was Ferris Bueller, Weird Science, or Breakfast Club. And I won because Ferris Bueller was on there, and Ferris Bueller won. And I said, of course it won, because I'm not an idiot.
Absolutely.
But to lead to that, this story leads me to my long-winded and grander point of I want to watch Weird Science.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that. I'll break out the Blu-rays for that.
Yeah.
Because I watched Ferris Bueller probably a month ago, actually.
Yeah, I watched that movie at least, like, I would say at least once a year. I probably watch Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, there are a few movies that I watch annually.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm coming up on one right now, actually. I do Godfather 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I do Back to the Future all 3.
Yeah.
I flip-flop between Ferris, Weird Science, and sometimes I do Pretty in Pink. But it's usually between Ferris and Weird Science.
Yeah.
And then added in as War Games. I do a ton of War Games. And then that's kind of those are like the big ones I watch on an annual basis because I just think those ones are so great.
I don't watch many movies on an annual basis. I think the biggest one for me would probably be I don't know. I don't really watch like a Halloween movie annually. I mean, maybe like The Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe. I don't know. I don't watch that annually, though. I don't watch that every year. The movie I do watch every year, though, is my favorite Christmas movie of all time, which is Gremlins.
Right. Yeah, I get that, yeah. And I don't do that with that movie, but I understand why.
Yeah.
But no, you do.
I watch it almost every year.
Like, if I didn't watch Back to the Future every year, I shouldn't have got the tattoo on my arm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I watch it, and it's a movie that everyone loves, so it's not like it's some sort of like, I'm so special. I like Back to the Future. No, it's like it's a fucking amazing movie, best movie of all time. So that's duh. But no, I watch all 3, not in a row per se, but I watch all 3 within a week of each other every year, every single year. You know, I have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, computer. I have it on everything, just to make it ease of use to watch, you know. And I'm coming up on where I think it's probably time to watch one of them. You know, and I usually end up watching the first one, and then I go from there. But so yeah, Weird Science is cool with me. I'm down. Yeah, you can watch some of that. What's his name? Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, R.I.P.
Right, and then fucking
Anthony Michael Hall,
and then whoever the other guy is.
I don't remember who the other guy is.
I think I'm gonna propose my movie for a week after Weird Science.
Okay.
Bill and Ted's.
Okay.
just
the
because
first one, or
the first one. The first one, yeah. Not the one they fight death, but yeah, the first one. Yeah. Because I saw an article a few days ago about them posing outside somewhere because they're talking about Bill and Ted 3.
Are they?
So Oh yeah, they're making it. Yeah, they're making Bill and Ted 3.
We got Bad Boys 3. We got Bill and Ted 3. It's the year 3s.
Well, Bill and Ted's gonna be better, but Bill and Ted 1. I think that's my proposal for 2 weeks from now because I think that movie is so fun, and I think that in the slew of, because I think it's an '80s movie by a year. I think it came out in '89.
I think it came out in '89. Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, it did. February of 1989.
Right, and obviously the fashion sense is clearly '90s because it's moving into that era. But it's a movie that I think we watched it in my history class in high school. I never watched it before then. I watched it in my history class and I went, "This movie is literally fucking amazing."
Yeah,
Keanu that like did start my Keanu Reeves love because obviously I loved him before that, but like that movie solidified that this dude is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And this movie is so rad that it has to be like I got rid of. I'll end this. We'll nip this podcast in a second, but I sold a lot of my movie collection. As you know, I used to have a really big movie collection.
Mm-hmm.
I sold a ton of my Blu-rays, my 4Ks, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I only kept probably like 30, and it's the 30 that I actually want to have. So I kept all my John Hughes stuff, so Weird Science, Breakfast Club, Ferris, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, the ones that I like a lot. And then I kept, obviously, Back to the Future, Godfather, Star Wars. I bought the new Star Wars stuff. Yeah. But then I absolutely kept Bill and Ted's. Like, it's something that I have to have. And I got rid of, dude, I was picking the movies I had to keep and what I was going to sell. Yeah. And it was so dumb. Like if you put this, this was a shot, like a film scene or a YouTube, and it was shown to the AFI top 100 critics or whatever, or whoever, they would have seen Jason Michael pick up fucking Akira Kurosawa movies and put them in the sell bin, but keep fucking Bill and Ted. That's exactly what I did. I sold Wolf and Cub, like Lone Wolf and Cub, and all these like Japanese like Chambara movies. I sold all these fucking like Criterion Collection movies I have. I'm like, I don't need these. I don't need them. But I definitely need Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
So, but that works for me if you're cool.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Awesome. So thanks, guys. That's this episode of the Take Stubs Redux podcast. We'll see you next week with Weird Science.
See you guys.